Welcome in the 18th episode. Today we will start to implement best scores. If you want to help support this channel, hit the subscribe button below this video, turn on notification so you will not miss any future episode I release. Okay, so let's get started. So as you remember from our previous episodes, we have the basic implementation for our scores, so whenever I complete any line or the square, we will have additional 10 points. So in this situation we have 10 points. But currently our game does not support the best score, so if you, for example, have 10 points now and you start your game again, our game does not know how many scores we had previously. So we're gonna change that today, and we're gonna save our scores into the external files, and we're gonna store it in the binary file so no one can change it and we can read it back whenever we need. So in order to do that, let's go to the scripts folder, then go to the game and then scores. So let's open the scores class. So let's first of all add another class inside this class. So right at the top above the score class, I will add another public class, so public class, and I'm gonna call it best score data. Okay, and this class will have just one public field, and this field will be public int, and I will call it score, and let's set it to 0. Okay, and make sure you add the attribute above this class because we want this class to be serializable. So let's put the square braces, then add system dot serializable. Okay, so now we can use this type in our score class. So let's scroll down to our scores, and below the text let's add another variable, so private bool new best score. Okay, and let's set it to false, and then let's add one more variable, private best score data, and let's call it best score will be equal to new best score data. Okay, so this is the record which we're gonna save and then read back from the file. So we will add the implementation for the reading and the saving to the binary file in the second. But first of all, we want to save our best score every time there is a game over, and of course there is a new best score. So we have to modify our onEnable and onDisable function. So let's do that first. So inside the onEnable, let's add game events dot game over plus equal, and we want to create new function save best scores. Okay, of course this function does not exist yet. We're gonna add it in a second. Let's for now just duplicate this line of code and move it to onDisable, and make sure you change this plus to minus. Okay, and now we can just get this function down below. Let's put public void save best scores, then let's put bool new best scores. So make sure you add this boolean parameter, because as you remember, if you go to our game over implementation, this event accepting the boolean parameter, so you have to provide the boolean parameter inside the function. Okay, let's go back to our scores. So we're gonna fill up this function in a second when we create the logic to save to the file. Now let's actually modify our add scores function. So currently we're adding to our current scores and then updating the text. So in between those two lines we want to add the if statement. So if our current scores are greater than the best scores dot score, we want to set our new best scores to be equal to true, and our best scores dot scores to be equal to current scores. So if we have more scores than our best score record, we're gonna replace that record with our current scores. Hopefully this is clear. Let's save everything for now. And before we forget, let's actually grab our new best scores boolean variable, go to the start function, and inside the start function make sure you set it to false. Okay, so that's it for this class. Let's actually go back to Unity now, and we will have to add one more class. So let's go to our scripts folder, and let's right click, create folder, and I will call this for the utility. Okay, and then inside this folder, let's right click, create C# script, and I will call it binary data stream. Okay, let's open this binary data stream class, and this is the class where we're gonna add our implementation for saving and reading back from the binary file. So first of all, let's remove the update and the start method. We won't need it. And then let's remove this mono behavior. Okay, and then let's add one template function. So public static void. Let's call it save. And the save function will accept this template parameter. So let's put the type t. And then we will pass our type t, and this is gonna be our object, serialized object, and then string, and then let's call it file name. Okay, so this is our save function. Let's first of all create our path. So let's put string path will be equal to, and then let's call application dot persistent data path plus, and I will just create additional directory, and I will call this directory saves. Okay, so all of our records will be stored into the persistent data path and then save directory. So now let's actually create the directory. So directory as you see, the directory is not recognized. You will have to add this using system.io. If you remove this one, the directory will not be recognized. So make sure you add this line of code at the top. I have the extension for my Visual Studio, so it's just adding it automatically, but you will have to type this. So let's use the directory dot create directory, and let's put the path. Okay, so if our save directory will not exist, we're gonna create the directory. And then after that, let's actually create the binary formatter. As you see, this binary formatter required additional using statement. So make sure you add this line of code at the top, system runtime serialization formatter binary. So once you do that, you can use it, and I will call it formatter will be equal to new binary formatter. Okay, and then right below, let's add the file stream. So file stream, let's call it file stream, will be equal to new file stream. And first of all, let's put the path plus file name plus, and now we wanna basically put the extension, how we wanna store our file. It just doesn't really matter what you put here. You need to put just the dot, and you can put any 3 letters you like. I will use the date, but you can put whatever you like. And then let's put the file mode, create. Okay, And now we're gonna put the try catch block. So try, as you see, is auto-completed in my case. So make sure you have all of those using statements in, and we're gonna catch our serialization exceptions. Okay, so as you see, it's gonna automatically add our system runtime serialization. So in case there is something wrong with it, we're gonna just put the debug.log, and I will just put the information save file error plus e.message. Okay, so we're gonna print our message, whatever it returns, and then let's put the final as well. So finally file stream.close. Okay, make sure you close your file stream, and of course we haven't serialized anything yet. So inside the try block, let's put the formatter.serialize, and now we want to put our file stream, and then we want to put our serialized object, which we pass to this function. Okay, and that's it for our save function. Okay, now let's create another function which will check if our file already exists. So right below I will put public static bool, and I will call it exist, and let's put the string file name. And now let's put first of all the string path will be equal to application.persistent data path plus, and basically our path will be exactly the same as the path we have here, so I'm just gonna copy this and then paste it here. Okay, and then let's put the string file name, maybe full file name, will be equal to file name plus, and then whatever extension you have put it. So you need to use exactly the same as extension as you save it. So I will just put the .date, and then we want to return file.exist, and we want to put our, so that's going to be the path plus full file name. Okay, so this exist function is just checking if this file exists in our directory. Okay, so this is all of the using statement I have attached. And there is one more function we want to create for this file, is to actually read back our data. Let's put down below another public static of the type T, and then we're going to call it read, and we want to paste the type T and then string file name. Okay, so as you see, the read function is actually highlighted that there is an error because we need to return our type T. Okay, so let's first of all put our path. So I'm just gonna copy the path from the exist function, paste it here. Then we want to create our binary formatter, so binary formatter will be equal to new binary formatter, then file stream will be equal to new file stream, and then we want to pass our path plus our file name, and then pass the same extension we are using, so .date. And then we want to put the mode file open. Okay, make sure you put the file open mode, not file create, as we have used previously. So we just want to open the file, and then we want to initialize our type, so let's put capital T, maybe return type will be equal to default and then type T. Okay. And now again, let's put the try catch block. Try, and then inside the catch, let's put our serialization exceptions. Okay, I'm gonna copy the debug log message as well. Put it here. And then let's put read failed and then message. Okay, and then let's put the finally block as well. So here we're gonna close the stream. So file stream dot close. And over here we want to actually read back our type. So return type will be equal to, let's cast it to type T and put formatter dot deserialize, and then let's put the file stream. Okay, and now we need to just return this return type, whatever it holds. Return type. Okay, so that's it. Make sure you have this read function as well. Let's save everything now. And now we can actually use this implementation inside our score class. So let's go to the score class now. And then let's first of all go to the start function. Actually, let's create the awake function. So I will just use the shortcut awake. Let's just tick it. You can type it yourself. You don't have to use the shortcut. The shortcut is Ctrl Shift and M to call this window. Okay, and then inside our awake function, let's actually check if the binary data stream dot exist, and then of course we need to put the file name. So let's actually create the file name somewhere. I will just go right at the top here, and then let's put the private string, and then I will call it best score key will be equal to, and I will call it best score data. Best score date or data or whatever you like to call. So we're gonna use this best scored key inside our exist function. So let's actually paste it in. So if our file exists, we're gonna start the coroutine, and then we wanna actually put inside the coroutine the reading function. So let's quickly add this reading function down below. So private I enumerator. Make sure it return the I enumerator if you want to use inside the coroutine, and then read data file. Okay, and then I will just call the best score will be equal to, so this is the binary data stream dot read, and then we want to put the type which we want to read. So in our case the type will be the best score data. So this is the type. Okay, so I will just put in this braces the best score data. So this is the type we want to read back from the file, and then we want to pass our best score key, and then I will put yield return new wait for end of frame, and let's leave it like that. So in the later episode we're gonna add another implementation here to actually update our best score, and we're gonna create the loading bar with the best score. So we're gonna add the implementation below, but for now let's leave it like that. Let's grab our read data file and then put it inside our coroutine. Of course we need to put the braces, At the start, we're gonna try to read our best scores. Let's add the implementation for the saving the best scores. So let's go to our save best scores function, and this function will call just the data stream, binary data stream dot save, and then we want to put the type. So we want to save exactly the same type as previously, so the best score data. And now we want to put the serialized object. In our case, is going to be the best score, because this is the same type. So this type and this type, if you go up, is exactly the same. And then we want to put the file name. So the file name is best score key. So that's pretty much it for this implementation. Let's save everything. Let's go back to Unity. And actually, before we proceed, I'm gonna put the breakpoint inside our saving logic. So I'll quickly go back to the binary data stream, and then when we will save, I will put the breakpoint here to just check the location where it's actually saving. So let's put this, and then I'm gonna call attach to Unity. Okay, seems like it's ready. And then I'm gonna start my project, and the breakpoint should be triggered. Actually, the breakpoint will be triggered at the end of the game. So let's actually just lose it. So the breakpoint has been triggered, and as you see, I hit the breakpoint. If I press F10 on my keyboard, I can see the value for the persistent data path. So in my case is C user, my name, app data, local now, default company, code, block advanced tutorial. So I'm just gonna copy the value. I usually open my notepad, paste the value in, and I have the full path. So I'm just gonna copy this path. Okay, let's open actually this directory. So here it is, the directory where the data will be stored. Okay, I will disable the breakpoint, press F5, or you can press this continue button. You should go back to game. The new best score pop-up is triggered, and our data should be saved. So if you go back to the directory, you will see the saves directory will be created, and we have our bsdata.dat file created, and this file have a 1 kilobyte of size. If you try to open this file, let's say I want to open it with the Notepad++, you will see that this is the binary data, and you cannot really change the value, or you cannot see the value. So as you see, our scores value currently hold the value 30, but this is in the binary, so we cannot really modify it. So let's close this file. Let's actually try to read it back, but I think we don't have any way to actually knowing if we read back the correct value. So I will just put the console message in. So let's quickly go back to our code. Let's stop the project first of all, go back to our scores. So inside our read data file, I will just output our best scores. So let's put below the yield return, I will put the debug.log, and I will just put the best scores.score. And maybe let's add some just log message. So maybe read best scores are equal to, and then let's put the plus. Okay, let's save everything now, and let's see if our reading logic is working fine. So I will go back to Unity now. Let's go to the console, clear everything, press play. So as you see, the data is read back properly, our best scores was 30, and we have the value 30. So let's try to do again, and let's try to get the value 40, so the better score than we already have. So 1. Okay, we have the 40, so now I need to just lose. Okay, we have the 50. Still can place something. Okay, so everything should be saved. And if you stop your project and go back to the folder, and then refresh, as you see, our data is still here and is the same file. So let's just press play. And as you see in our console message, we have the best score 50. So everything works fine. So that's it for today. In the next episode, we're gonna work on the UI to actually display the loading bar with our best scores, and then basically output this best score in our game over screen. So hopefully this tutorial was useful. If you have any question or any issues with this implementation, please let me know in the comments below this video. So thanks for watching, and I will see you again in the next video.